what I'm going to call this video. I guess it's kind of tea spilling, but it's also just real talk about book marketing is hard. Almost every video I've seen on BookTube and AuthorTube makes it sound like marketing your book is just a 5-step simple process and you've just got to get some awareness out there of your name and it's quite simple. That's not true. To start with, people have to actually know you exist, and right at the very beginning, they've got no clue who you are, nor do they care. And so there's a recommendation that you try and build some sort of author platform, and that you do that usually via having your own YouTube channel or writing a blog, something along those lines that gives you some sort of exposure. If you try and make your own AuthorTube channel, then just look at the videos to begin with. So however long the video actually comes out, so if it's a 5-minute video, it takes at least twice as long to film that video, and then you've got to edit it, and then don't forget you've got to take a thumbnail photo, which I always forget to do, and you've got to try and make it look fancy, which I'm not capable of because I'm tech challenged. Then to have a chance of someone watching your video, you've got to consider the time at which you release, which if you don't live in the Northern Hemisphere like me, that's even more fun. You've also got to come up with catchy titles for each video. You've got to put out videos really regularly. You've got to be aware of tea being spilled and try and get in on that tea being spilled, even if it really has nothing to do with you, because all of this drives up the number of views you have on your channel. And for some reason, people really like negative videos, so negative reviews and tea being spilled. Ideally, you've also got to come up with your own tag that hopefully other people will notice, and then they'll film their own video with the same tag, and if you're lucky, they'll link it back to the original video, which was yours, and you might get a few more views, and hopefully maybe someone will buy your book. Don't forget to get a Patreon account and think up even more content for the people who are your patrons. Make sure you tweet mostly about writing and the writing community. Make sure your Instagram account is beautiful and color coordinated and lets people into your life and makes your life look like it's full of bright shiny unicorns that fart rainbows. And make sure you save your bitchy outbursts for YouTube, but call it tea spilling, and ideally drink tea while spilling tea and having the perfect lighting. Don't forget you've also got to update your author website. You've got to write a blog that's well edited. You've also got to sell your debut novel for as little as possible, hoping that someone buys it because it's cheap, enjoys it, and then gets into your series that way. But just be aware that there's every chance that they'll trash your book or your videos, and they'll say it was a waste of their hard-earned money, even though it probably only cost them $2 or $3. And make sure that you also read about 1,000 books per month, that you unbox them all and you review them all, and you make your own reading experience and your bookshelf an experience for everybody else. And don't forget that you've also got to keep writing more books, because if you're not publishing at least 2 books a year, people are going to get impatient and they're going to forget about you and your story. You've also got to attend work, and for starters, I honestly don't care about tea, whether it's the drink or drama. I have about 12 employees, and so whenever they have an issue, it becomes my issue as well. So I've got enough drama in my life without throwing tea every which way and sticking my nose into other people's tea where it doesn't belong. This is about as close to tea spilling as you're going to get from me, and I would really classify this as more of a whinge or a rant. And I just don't need more drama in my life. And the expectation that we as authors can do all of this while attending work and paying our bills and producing really interesting, fascinating content that is beautifully lit and edited, it's unrealistic. And I get that this is the burden of an author, and particularly a self-published author. Although that being said, if you're traditionally published, generally you gotta do all this stuff anyway. I'll film whenever I have time, and I will try and make sure that the videos are interesting and that the backdrops are nice and that the lighting is as good as it can be. But in the same breath, I'm also going to film when I have time. And honestly, for me, just filming videos on the writing and publishing process and on the books that I'm reading gets really boring. So you're gonna get other videos from me. And if you're going to come on this ride with me, then come on the ride. There's quite a lot of information out there for new authors like myself on ways you can build your platform. And really, like, it's a time-consuming process. There's a lot of stuff that people are suggesting you should do as a bare minimum. I've seen plenty of places where it tells me that I've got to scour the internet for beta readers and for people who will review my work. I've seen that I've got to comment on every video published by every channel that I follow so that hopefully other people will start to recognize my name, click on it, and then find my YouTube channel. At the same time, I'm supposed to review everything that I've read so that I can keep producing vast quantities of content. But there's an awful lot of physio-related shit that I read that nobody has any interest in seeing reviews on. And most of the time, I don't actually have time to sit down and read a physical book. I would love to, but I just don't have time. So most of the time, books that I'm reviewing, I'll be reviewing audiobooks because I can listen to them when I'm doing other things. I can listen to them on the way to work. It's just more feasible for me. And also I am an audio learner, so I will understand the book better if I hear it. Call it tea if you will, call it real talk, but as far as I'm concerned, it just is what it is. This author game is hard. Being an author and trying to get your work out there in the world is time consuming, it's challenging, it's expensive. I think if you're in this for the instant gratification of people liking your videos, of liking your Instagram posts, and of just seeing good reviews and good reviews only, then you're probably in it for the wrong reasons and you're going to get burnt really quickly. And don't get me wrong, I really enjoy having an author platform and I really enjoy making these videos for you, and hopefully somebody watches them at some point. But AuthorTube and BookTube are seriously competitive, and sometimes I find myself just kind of going, can it not be enough that I put my laundry away today? Do it because you feel compelled to do so. Do it because you have a story you just really want to tell. And if you're gonna do it, buck up, champ, because it ain't easy. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy the other videos that I put out on my YouTube channel. Please click like and subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in reading my debut novel, it is called The Hunted, and it is the first book of the Phoenix series. The second book will hopefully be out in August if all things go according to plan, and I will be revealing the name and the cover art for that soon.